Hey guys, it's Yozora, and today we will be talking about the new Tier 10 Pan American cruiser, the San Martin. So, this Friday the 31st, we'll be starting the usual early access event for the new line. And if you feel like gambling a bit with random bundles, might be a good idea to know if the San Martin is anything worth spending a lot of resources on. And in my opinion, it's a big yes. The San Martin, it does, the ship is just amazing. It is stupid like you can barely imagine. But it's the good kind of stupid. The please give me more, this is just too fun to be true. And the main reason is that she is a massive box of gimmicks. It's I don't even know where to start, honestly. Let's just make a list. So, the San Martin and the rest of the high-tier Pan American cruisers, they have Destroyer Dispersion, only AP shells, with improved penetration angles, combat instruction, a specialized Reaper team with absolutely bonkers capacities. Just to tell you how bonkers it is. So this Reaper party can recover up to 80% of damage taken from both normal penetrations and citadel damage. So you can basically print a new ship no matter how hard you get punished. And you might say, yeah, but at least you have the long cooldown. Well, yes, but no, actually. Because as I said just before, the Pan American cruisers have a combat instruction. So these combat instructions require to hit a certain amount of shells from the main battery in a fairly short period of time. You have just a 50 seconds gap where you're allowed to not get any main battery hits, and after that it will be decreasing. And it decreases actually incredibly fast, something like 15% per second. So you rarely want to have something to shoot at very fast. And when it's active, when you activate it, since it's manual activation, it reduces by 85% the cooldown of your consumables. So that completely stupid Reaper party I was talking about, you can get the cooldown, well, it gets the normal cooldown down to 27 seconds. So if you take kills, flags and such into account, something like 24 seconds or something like that. So you can just get back 40,000 HP in the span of not even 30 seconds. That's the level of crazy we're talking about. Now, you still need to take into account that it's still a light cruiser, especially when you are talking about the Santander, you know, the tier 9, with a particularly thin main belt. You still need to be careful how much broadside you're getting, because you can still get deleted fairly easily if you're not careful enough. But yeah, when you need just one citadel there, one penetration here, look just there. I'm just printing back 20k HP in the blink of an eye. You can just get away with so many aggressive actions. It's just amazing to play, honestly. Now, I was about to say it's not perfect, but the main battery has the downside of, as I said before, of having only AP shells. And while you have improved penetration angles, like the same as the British light cruisers, you don't have the reduced fuse timer and the reduced arming threshold. So that makes the ships fairly bad against destroyers. You will struggle to get actual penetration damage. So, sure, it's a pretty substantial downside, and it's also why I can see the reason some people prefer to have the spotting aircraft instead of the surveillance radar. Well, you would just stick to farming damage on cruisers and battleships and not bother with destroyers. But at the same time, there is a bit of a compensation. In the sense that, so as you might have noticed, it's the same guns and turrets as the Worcester, but unlike the Worcester and the other US light cruisers, you have way better ballistics. It's actually quite similar to those of the Soviet cruisers. The penetration is also way better, so you will have an easier time getting penetration hits instead of shatters, and so you will overall have more have an easier time damaging cruisers and battleships. And also, she has the the ships have the advantage of having destroyer dispersion, which is a pretty big deal. It's just so much easier to get the hits on most targets at long range compared to what you would get with a Minotaur, for example. It sure is the downside to only have AP shells, but at least it's for light cruisers. Pretty damn good AP shells. You can just farm a pretty, get some pretty good chunks of damage on most targets you'll find even at long range. And also, when you get the opportunity, it's pretty brutal against cruisers that wouldn't expect it, especially with the good rate of fire. Just to tell you, it was actually it was just two games ago, as I record it. I was playing the Santander, and I managed to sneak in on an Annapolis and a Neptune that were sitting behind an island, and I just got 28 citadels out of. Well, in total, this game, which was a bit of a stomp, I had only the time to get 98 hits. Also because I kinda died because I got too cocky and I got caught by Petropavlovsk. But yeah, of the 98 shells, 28 were citadels on the Annapolis and the Neptune. And while it was the tier 9, you can also expect the same result with the San Martin, especially because he's particularly good at sneaking around and get close with a very good concealment of 9.1 and a pretty solid speed as well. And if you get close and there's something behind an island or in a smoke, you can just pop the radar or pop hydroacoustic search, which is also, yeah, another of her gimmick is that she has the short range hydroacoustic search, so it's only 3 km range. But, extra spotting is extra spotting. It's always nice to have especially against torpedoes. But yeah, with either of the two, you can sneak around on an island or behind a smoke and just cause a cruiser off guard that would be giving you broadside. Actually, but think about it, the cruiser doesn't even need to give you broadside because you have the great penetration angles. So, yeah, she's honestly a very effective gun platform overall. I didn't have any game where I felt like, oh man, I can't damage anything, what the hell is this? No. Basically, when talking about like cruiser's experience, and I know that I'm bringing her back on the table very often, but when comparing to what I had to suffer through with Yodo, San Martin, it's just a dream. A dream of a light cruiser, seriously. Give me more of that stuff. They're just... Well, the high tier ships are just super fun to play. They are, as you saw in this game, very forgiving with the specialized Reaper team. And yeah, overall solid performances. At least for the high tier ones. Yeah, the low tier, I don't think when it comes to the tier 3/tier 4, I don't think these will be played very often. Because the tier 3, she literally... She pretty much cannot damage anything. Because since she has only AP shells, with normal fuse time and normal arming threshold, at the tier where there is close to no armor protection. Actually, the tier 3 and also the tier 2, you know, thinking about it. But yeah, since at this tier there is no armor protection, they just get over penetration damage or maybe shatters on some battleships. And in return, they just get demolished. Not exactly something I can recommend. High tier ships though, as long as you are careful with your surroundings and don't get death struck from 100 to 0. Frankly, a nice experience and a line I can recommend to play. Also, they're not just good gun platforms, they also have the nice addition of torpedo armament. But it's only a single launcher per side. On the St. Martin, it's just 5 torpedoes per side. Then again, it's still pretty good torpedoes. It's the Mark 17 torpedoes, the same as on the Fletcher and on the gearing. So with 10.5 kilometers of range, solid damage, low reaction time, all of that nice little stuff. So if you ever need to get personal or you're kiting away battleship or cruiser not paying attention, yeah, these torpedoes might prove themselves to be pretty useful. Other than that, well, the end here, it's fairly nice. The San Martin. I mean, it's overall the same kind of NTR design as the Worcester for obvious reasons. But maybe the long, the medium, or the short range, all of them have a lower DPS. But it's still pretty solid, and you still have strong flag damage. So if you face a not particularly smart enemy carrier, you will get away from it fairly easily. if you want, for whatever reason, you can use the defensive fire consumable. But yeah, only just do that when you're sure to meet a carrier, when you're in a division with a carrier yourself, for example. Otherwise, not much point. So yeah, frankly, if you have doubloons to spare, because the San Martin should be available with the successive random bundles for the special token that will be available with the early access event. If you have resources to farm these tokens, I would say go for it, honestly. Also, yeah, also the unique camouflage these ships are getting are just amazing. They are super cool looking, super colorful in the theme of Central American mythology. So yeah, aesthetically speaking, definitely worth it. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. For the radar versus spotter plane, as I said, it's a 9 km radar, so you can pretty much use it instantly when you get spotted. But at the same time, with only AP shells, you won't get too much damage on destroyers. But it's always useful in a coordinated environment to have. Otherwise, take spotter plane and then farm damage, I guess. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all for me.